Hello, I'm Lane. I'd like to talk about word problems involving fractions and division. These aren't easy, but I think I've got a way to think about them that will help you. For each of these problems, you're going to have two numbers, okay? And one of those numbers is going to represent a whole, and the other number is going to represent the size of some parts of that whole. I want to figure out which of these is the whole. Shh. I didn't really realize this until I was editing this video, but I'm pretty sure that for all of these problems, the whole is going to be the larger number. So if you can identify which of these two fractions is bigger than the other without using a calculator, that's always going to be the whole. The problem says a road crew must repave a road that is 3/8 miles long, and they can repave 1/48 miles each hour. The whole in this problem is the length of the road, right? The road crew is going to work on paving this much of it, and they're going to do a certain little amount each hour. So the whole here is going to be 3/8, all right? And the size of the parts, or the length of the road that the crew is going to pave in little chunks, is this other number, 1/48. So if you can figure out how to assign these two, then your answer for all of these problems in the topics should be the same. It's going to be the whole divided by the size of the parts. Okay, so for this problem, it would be 3/8 divided by 1/48. And to do this division, what we do is we multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second. So we flip over the second fraction. And then once we've done that, we're multiplying two fractions, and to multiply two fractions, you just go straight across. Okay? So I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. The first way would be to multiply 3 times 48. And let's look at the problem. Yeah, okay, it says we can't use a calculator, so let's work out 3 times 48. 144, so 144 is going to go on top, and then on the bottom we're going to have 8 times 1, which is 8. And then we would need to do this division to try to simplify this fraction. Okay, 144 divided by 8 is 18. So that would be our answer. Now, the other way to do this multiplication here would be to notice that, that we have a common factor of 8 on the top and the bottom of both of these fractions. Let me rewrite this down here. This would be the same as 3 times 48 over 8 times 1. And we can cancel an 8 from the top and the bottom. 48 is a multiple of 8. 48 is 6 times 8, right? I could rewrite that 48 on the top as 6 times 8, and then we can cancel out the 8s. And so this problem is just 3 times 6 divided by 1. And 3 times 6 is 18, right? So we should get 18 either way. Let's go back over to Alex and check that that answer is correct. Let's do another problem. Okay, this problem says each of Dan's notebooks is 2/5 inches wide. If he has 10 inches of space remaining, how many notebooks will fit? So our first step is going to be to figure out which of those two numbers, all right, our two numbers here are 2/5 and 10, which of those represents a whole and which represents a size of parts of that whole. For this problem, the whole is going to be the size of the bookshelf, right? The whole bookshelf is 10 inches long, and then we're going to put small books on it. So the whole is 10. All right, and the size of the parts of the things that we're fitting into it is 2/5. So our answer is going to be the whole divided by the size of the parts, or 10 divided by 2/5. Okay, so to do this fraction division, we should start by writing the number 10 as a fraction. That's the same as 10 divided by 1, right? So 10 divided by 2/5 is the same as 10 over 1 divided by 2/5. And to solve this, we need to change it to a multiplication problem with the reciprocal of the second fraction. So we change division to multiplication, and we flip over the second fraction. And now we're just multiplying two fractions, so we can multiply straight across. 10 times 5 is 50, and 1 times 2 is 2, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. So our answer should be 25. Let's go back over to Alex and put that in. Okay, this problem says a bag that weighs 5/8 pounds will be split equally among 40 people. Let's take a look at this on the blackboard. So again, we're going to figure out which number represents the whole and which number represents the size of the parts. And then our answer is going to be the whole divided by the parts. Okay, so if the bag is being split, then the bag is the whole, right? And the parts are going to be the 40 people. All right, the thing that's being split up is the whole. So the whole is 5/8, and it's split equally among 40 people, so there are 40 parts in that whole. All right, so our answer is going to be 5/8 divided by 40. And to do this division, we need to write 40 as a fraction, so we would write 40 as 40 over 1, and then we would change this to a multiplication problem by writing the reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay, now we can multiply straight across, right? 5 times 1 is 5, and 8 times 40, what is that? 8 times 40 is 320. So our answer is going to be 5 over 320. Can we simplify that? I think that we can, because I know that 320 is a multiple of 5 because it ends in a 0. So I'm going to divide the top number and the bottom number by 5, okay? 5 divided by 5 is going to be 1. And what is 320 divided by 5? Let's do that long division right here, maybe. 320 divided by 5 is 64. So our answer is going to be 1/64. And this should make sense, right? Because the whole bag is 5/8 of a pound, less than a pound, and we're splitting it among 40 people. So each of those people is going to get a very small amount of spice, right? And 1 out of 64, or the fraction 1/64 is a small fraction. So that should be our answer. Let's put that in and check if it's right. 1/64. Great, it was. I hope that that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments. And thank you for watching.